Hey guys, it's RJ the Fed. We're checking out a new microphone. So we got these. These are actually unplugged and turned off. Both of these are. So right now we're running the Blue Yeti. I still think these were a good purchase. I can definitely use these on the go because I still think they're better than using just the standard audio that my phone picks up. So we'll definitely keep these to use. But if everything works out, this will be the new rig. I got this today. Tomorrow I'm going to have an extension cable so we can run this to the computer, and then I'll have another extension cable that I can run to my camera, and I can run my camera over there. So we should be able to have some similar setup for live streams, and I'll have the computer off to the side, but I'm also getting a DisplayPort cable that's longer, so I should be able to shift my monitor out and over here, so my monitor will sit like right here to where you guys can't see it, but I can. I can have my mouse and keyboard over on one of these tables right here so we can still interact with chat and see how the live stream's going. But we'll have superior audio. We'll downgrade the camera quality because right now we're running with a Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus. We'll be using a DepthTech 4K camera, but it's lower frames per second. But today I've got a sample on the table of some Cowboy Bourbon. So this is Garrison Brothers. Garrison Brothers is, in fact, in Texas. It is about, I want to say, an hour and a half south of me. Maybe further. I can't remember exactly where Garrison Brothers is located. I got trash. I'll deal with that later. Only downside with running the audio right now through the phone to this is I had to take the case off because the little USB-C adapter that came with everything, it won't fit with the case, but that's okay. We'll make do with what we got for sure. If this had a Type-C plug-in, we'd be good, but we got the old USB-A cable, I believe. So people complain about these breaking, so I want to make sure I take care of this cable. I've got it Velcroed down in several spots for that, so hopefully that won't be an issue. That being said, Garrison Brothers Cowboy Bourbon. So let's go ahead and give this a little sniff. Now this guy is hot. It is 134.8 proof, so very, very hot. I don't know if this is in the way for you guys, so we're going to kind of lift this up and out of the way. We might lose a little bit of quality by pushing it further away, but I just realized it's probably like in my face on screen. We do have a cup. It was ice water, but now it's just ice, so very, very dark in color. I don't know if you guys can see how good that picks up on camera, but it's like almost like red. So we're trying with some different lighting too. We've got some superior lighting in front of us, and we've got our high-end microphone plugged in instead of our little portable microphones, which they work great for what they are. It's very hot, but it's also sweet. Kind of cherry, oaky cherry. So with higher proof whiskeys, if you guys didn't know, you don't want to just, take a full swig of this. You want just a little bit on the tongue so you can try to taste it. This is 2022's release. This is last year's release, but I haven't really seen it on the shelves here, so glad to have a sample of it. I do like the small batch and the single barrel of Garrison Brothers. That being said, the reason why I don't really own the bottle or review them other than I reviewed my buddy's bottle, his was from the distillery, was the cost. Cowboy Bourbon, if I did find it at MSRP, that'd be cool, but secondary, I want to say it's like $250 for a bottle. And I want to say probably about $150, $175 MSRP. So it's still a lot for a bottle. Single barrel, I think, is around like $90 to $120. Small batch being the cheapest, I want to say is $85, $90. So, yeah, price is definitely a factor. I feel like there's some super good bottles out there for less. That being said, Garrison Brothers is good. It's just the cost is what drives me to lower my rating on them because let's be honest, if I didn't rate anything based on cost, there'd be several bottles that would just be phenomenal. But you have to factor in price because not everyone can touch that budget. And then even if you can touch that budget, I mean, how many bottles of Garrison Brothers would you want to buy before you could just buy something else? It's good. It's not like super harsh. It's pretty smooth, especially for 134.8 proof. Like that's pretty good. Wow. I don't know. It's good. It's one of their limited releases. It's hard to get. Cost is a factor. It being allocated and hard to get is another factor. It's got a pretty pleasant nose. It's not a whole lot going on. At least not on the nose. On the palate, it's got like probably 3 notes that I can taste. It's like oak, cherry, maybe a hint of leather, but like you guys know I hate the leather tasting note. It's so minimal that like you can't even really say that it has a leather taste to it. It's very, very muted. It's far back behind the cherry and the oak. It's quite good. I don't even dare look up how much this bottle costs though. This will be cool for the live stream setup though, because like basically the angle that you guys are looking at me at, that'll be similar to what it is. Maybe we'll have more of an angle this way so you guys get the flag in, or maybe we'll move the flag. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. But I think we're going to start recording more videos from this direction like we typically do for our reviews, because the live stream, when you guys are looking at me when I get on lives or camera, you see the Texas flag and that's about it. So I think this might be a more appealing background for you guys, especially if I can bring my monitor like somewhere over in this vicinity facing me, which it's on a piston system too. I just don't have a long enough DisplayPort cable, and I believe we have a 25-footer coming in tomorrow that can do up to 8K, which is important because most of the time when I'm gaming or doing any kind of editing or stuff, we're running 4K minimum on this monitor. Definitely want to take your time on that one because it is a higher proof. I would say if you could find this bottle at MSRP, like this would be a good one to grab. It's gonna sit on your shelf for a while. Like you're not gonna want to just drink this every single day. It's like if I get a bottle of Stag, I'd tear it up. I'll be honest. As soon as I open the bottle of Stag, it's almost gone. I have one of them like in another cabinet locked away because otherwise I'm gonna destroy that bottle. I have like three quarters of a batch 18 Stag left, and that's all the Stag I have. 22A and 22B are over there on the floor. They're ready for bottle kill. Wow, I have a lot of bottles ready for bottle kill, to be honest. We're just slowly like tearing up different whiskeys. I'm going to start trying to drink some more stuff that's in the cabinet out there and not the stuff that's on the shelves, because most of the stuff on the shelf, like right now, it's up for trade. If I can get some bottles that I'm looking for, we're trying to get some higher end bottles. We do have a concept that we are working on. That probably won't come out till January. I got a buddy that his work schedule's changing, so he's going to have a lot more free time. I would like to do a bourbon hunt video where I go with a buddy. So I'll have to pass the kiddo off to his grandma, my mom, and see if I can get my buddy to take me out. And we're going to go bourbon hunting. And I want to try to go to the mom and pop stores. Like most of the mom and pop stores in my area, they're going to be secondary prices or higher, like museum pricing, to be honest. But if I can catch them on the right day where like the manager or owner's there, or they can get the manager or owner on the phone, I'm gonna make some That's Crazy offers. I'm gonna be throwing up some coin, or we're gonna be having cash, like cold hard cash in our hand. That way it doesn't have to be ran through credit card or anything like that, so they don't have to pay fees. And see if we can offer these guys money. I mean, this is the allocated season. The bottles are gonna be dropping. They're probably gonna put them on the shelf for like ridiculous amounts of money. I'm gonna offer them like, I don't know, $300 to $500 per bottle for like BTAC. Pappy, we will probably go like $500 to $700. We'll probably stay below $500 for the most part. Like we want to be like right at $500 per bottle for those like heavy hitters. BTAC MSRP this year is no longer $99. It's like $149.99, so $150. $200 is like just slightly above MSRP. I don't think we can score a bottle for that. I think we're going to have to offer $400 or $500 to try to get them to sell those bottles. The premise behind it is we're going to have $1,000 to do this with, so we're going to try our hardest to get like those big heavy hitters at the small mom and pop stores. And if we can't get one within like the first 5 to 7 mom and pop stores, that's a rough number. I don't know how many we're going to go to. I don't know how many people are going to let me film in there. If I can't film video, I'm going to at least try to get audio because I want to hear them like cussing me out or telling me, get out. Like, we're not selling you that bottle for that. That's ridiculous because, you know, they have them like priced at like $2,000-$3,000. We'll just take our money elsewhere. We'll do that for a few stores. And then once we do that, I think we're going to go to like the big chain stores. And if I have money left over or if we have the full 1,000, we're probably going to go to Total Wine, and in January we're going to go requalify for Grand Reserve. So normally the way in Grand Reserve, remember, you have to spend $2,500 to do that, but in Texas they have point multipliers. So you can do 10x points on wine and 10x points on food, 4x points on most liquors if they're spirits direct, which isn't really desirable for like what we do. But because we have $1,000 cash, if we have to take that full amount to Total Wine, we'll probably buy a couple bottles of wine for my mom, a couple bottles of wine for my buddy's wife, and maybe we'll buy some allocated stuff out of their case in the bourbon case. I mean, there's some stuff in there. I mean, there's Foregate, there's some Whistle Pig. They had a bottle the other day, actually. I passed on it. Maybe you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know if I'll put it on screen or not. It's called Jacob's Pardon, and this was their 18-year. It said it was a small batch, and this particular one is 141.8 proof, I want to say. So it is hazmat. It's definitely a hazmat bottle, but they had it priced at $180. I don't know if it's worth $180. That being said, someone said in Bourbon Hunters Discord that SLB did a blind and it beat out Coy Hill. So now, just because it beat in a blind doesn't mean it's necessarily better than it. But I mean, for the price, $180 versus Coy Hill, if you can find one, secondary is like $500 on it. So like, obviously it's better than that, but I'm not going to spend $180 on a whim on something I've never heard of or seen. So plus, if we don't get like BTAC or Pappy, like if I do end up spending the full 1,000, the goal is going to be to buy a lot of bottles that I've never had before. So if that means buying $20 to $30 bottles to get a wide variety, I've almost exhausted every single bottle that I've ever had on this channel. Subscribers have been what's been keeping me going for a lot of my content by doing these samples. I have picked up a couple other bottles. I'll grab one right now. Bonus content, we're going to grab 2 to show off. We got a Kelsey's Creek single barrel. That's from Goody Goody. Goody Goody's getting ready to do a raffle too for their allocated stuff. So we got this bottle, and we learned that we can sign up with a free account. We don't even need points with them for their allocated drops. So we signed it for them. Drawing will be December 19th, I think, for that. So hopefully it gets selected. But the guy who was trying to sell this to me said it was made by Buffalo Trace Distillery. And that's not true anymore. It's bottled by Old Tyne Company in Louisville, Kentucky. With that being said, though, he said this is like a young Eagle Rare. So it is 90 proof. And I want to say he said it was 7 years. I don't know if it says it on here. I don't see 7 years anywhere on here, but I'll take his word for him until I taste it and prove otherwise. And then another heavy hitter we got, $83. They had a bunch of these sitting on the shelf, so we picked one up. It's a Peerless Double Oak. It's 108.3 proof. This is batch number 11, so very cool, because I know like Hunter was looking for this for a while, and this thing was just sitting on a shelf out there, so I was like, I gotta at least try something cool. If Hunter was searching for that and I can just find it here in my area, why not pick it up? Especially for $83. I don't mind buying that if it's a pretty good bottle. So I've had some Peerless before, like the small batch, but I've never had the double oaked. It took me a little bit to get through this, guys. Sorry if the video went on long. This Garrison Brothers Cowboy Bourbon is kind of hard to drink. I mean, it's 134.8 proof, so give me a break, guys. Just because we wear a cowboy hat doesn't mean we're tough and hard and can just down a 2-ounce pour, and that wasn't even a 2-ounce pour because this is a 2-ounce container. Probably about a half-ounce pour, 1-ounce pour there. But we'll have these. I don't know when I'll open these. I have a bunch of other bottles behind me, guys. We've got Woodford Triple Finish Sonoma. We've got Weller Antique and 12 are actually open right now. We got one of those of each opened. We have a new Early Times Bottled and Bond that's up there on this shelf because we have one ready for bottle kill. Over on this side, we've got 5 Blantons, which we're saving. We're trying to get the full set of the letters. We want to have them sealed, and then the goal is to have people come over. We'll fresh crack them as we go through, so we'll start with B until we finish it off and go through the whole letters. We also got a Widow Jane 2023 Decadence. That's shout out to Victor for telling me to buy that. They had 2 of them, so I already went and bought 2 of them. We are trading one away. We're getting a Blanton store pick. Hopefully that all works out and I'll receive that trade sooner than later. We got a Willet Small Batch Family Rye. It's a 4-year. And then we got a Booker's up there that's different than our Charlie's batch. That's the 2023-03. That was my son's birthday bottle, the Mighty Fine batch. But we're actually going to crack that one open because I was able to get a Blanton's with his birth date as the dump date. So, other than that, I mean, I got a Larceny Barrel Proof C923. We've already done a review on this. This is honestly going to be a gift. I took it back from him and gave him an open one because he said he was going to open it and drink it because he got it early before Christmas. I really need to just wrap this and give it to him. But we've got several sealed bottles. We've got more content coming. And we should be able to push through Christmas, New Year's, and then start out the new year right with some fresh cracks with friends. And then that video will take over part of January. And then when January rolls around, we're gonna drop about $1,000 on whiskey, and we're gonna requalify for Grand Reserve with Total Wine, and we're gonna try to get Pappy or some BTAC bottles. So wish me luck on those. All right, guys. Cheers. Once again, this is Garrison Brothers Cowboy Bourbon. That's 2022's release, 134.8 proof. And I'll see you guys next time. This is RG the Feds signing out.